Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome to another night of connecting to the higher realms. Hello, everybody. Got a full house already. I love it. Let me pop out the chat here before I forget. And we will get started here in just a moment. Let me just make this a little bigger here. Hey, Self Love and Hina and Dollface Diva, Jazz, Honey Dip, Winnie. Coco, Maxine, Rishi, V, Leo, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all the love. Let me just shrink this down here so I can see everything. And we will start momentarily. So, I do want to start off for a little while. Just giving energy out to the world and to whoever is listening, whoever is watching this on playback. The energy has no time or space. So even if you watch this on playback, the energy will be there for you. But I just love, love, love the meme that I saw, and I'm going to keep on talking about it because it's so important. One person giving out unconditional love energy, the higher vibration of love, is equal to 700,000 people that are giving out fear energy, the lower vibrational love energy. And if two of us do, if three of us, four of us, it gets up into the millions of people that were able to help change the energy of the planet. So I really, really love just the thought of, even if one of you joins me, that's 1,400,000 instead of 700,000. And I think it even amplifies even more. I just, in my heart, when people, gather together, it just amplifies it even more so. So if you'll join me, just focus in on your heart. Just know you're unconditionally loved by the mother and father of all things above, and let that energy just come down into your heart, fill you up, and we're sending it out to the world, allowing us to be the conduits of beautiful, unconditional love for the world. Just even a few seconds of pulse out into the world makes such a huge difference for the overall peace, and touches people's hearts, because we can't change the world by trying to change people's minds, right? We change the world by changing hearts. And how do we change hearts? By loving unconditionally. So that is it for tonight. All right. Hey V, hey Hero and Rabia. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all the thumbs up already. I really appreciate that. It does help out the channel, does allow more of the Zen love and all our love to go out to the world. So thank you, thank you. All right. Well, let's get into the readings for tonight. Hey, Leah. And we will, of course, start with self-love. And you want to know the reason. Let me make sure I'm at the top right. Yeah. The incomplete sleep. All right. Well, let's try to find out here. Let me just scroll this a little further down. All right. So, what are this insomnia or lack of sleep about? So, self love. Let's take a look here. What would they like you to know about your sleep habits that are being interrupted here? Anything else? Okay. Yeah, you do have the King of Swords here, which, this is about your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And the King of Swords is air. He rolls over air, but all the kings get air, another dose. So he's double. So you're definitely in your mind about something, and it's probably love, because you got the Four of Cups, which is all about dissatisfaction with love in the outside world. And then there's this nudge about a higher love, something more coming in for you. And so um, I really feel like there's all this mental looping going on in your head. And I know I'm an air sign son, so I had to deal with this a long time ago because I would wake up, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep with so much on my mind. And I finally just started writing things down. Like if you journal, if you can't sleep, journal what's on your mind. Your mind then knows it's written down and it'll stop looping it, especially if it's things to do, writing a list, lets your mind know, okay, it's not going to be forgotten. Because if it thinks it's going to be forgotten, that's why it keeps on, just keeps repeating it so you won't forget it. But if your mind sees you writing it down, it goes, okay, my job here is done. So, you know, if it is about affection, which with the Four of Cups, I wouldn't doubt that it's not, because it seems to be about emotions. I would journal and put your thoughts down on paper or a password protected document on your computer if you don't want it to be seen by anybody. But just journal, 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 and it'll get it off of your mind and it'll allow you to sleep because your mind will see that it's okay. It's down, it's written down, and it's being looked at. So I think you are right. It might be affections. I don't know if it's necessarily just towards V. I feel like it's about emotions altogether, about past emotions, because you have three cups that are empty and that are not feeling whole. And this other love is being brought in from up above, which is challenging your beliefs around love. So I would just journal about, you can start off about V, but then also about your other relationships, the other emotions you felt. Get it all out on paper. I think it'll make a difference for you. So that is what they have. Didn't realize I was like so down low. It's like not hiding from you guys. All right. So that's what they have for you, self love. Many blessings to you. All right, Hina. And then you wanted the upcoming near future reading. Hey, MF and Sparks, welcome, welcome. Making the way down the list. Let's see what we have, Hina, with the upcoming near future. What would they like you to know? Anything else? Okay. See what we got going on here. Well, you have some good things coming your way. You have the Page of Pentacles here, which is all about new opportunities opening up in the inside, I'm sorry, the outside world. But there's also the Page of Pentacles can also be this understanding, this upgrade in how you are relating your worth to the outside world. And you do have the Wheel of Fortune coming in, which is a really good card to get because it's endings and new beginnings, but it's things unfolding that are unfolding for you. And so it's a positive card to get. Um, so with these changes that are opening up in the outside world, I really feel it is this uplift for you too. You just kind of feel like more deserving with things that are coming in this outside world. And I also mentioned that because you got the Eight of Swords here, which this looks worse than it is because this is your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindset. So these are all the expectations that you have had that made you feel blinded and bound and trapped. But the Eight of Swords is about you're upgrading, you're realizing it. And because of that, with all these other things, I really feel like you are really getting into the root of some things, some old ways of thinking about yourself that you're questioning it and you're reflecting on it and going, where does that come from? And you're like, oh, now we remember like when I was 7 and I was, in school and they said this. And so like that math teacher said that I was stupid. And it's just that I had moved and I hadn't had that yet. And so I felt bad. I felt I was stupid, but I get math. Why do I don't think I get math? It's that kind of thing that you're really realizing the roots in. And now that you're who you are and you're more powerful, you look back at it and you are able to, in your memory, in that emotional situation, go, okay, I'm gonna um, give comfort to my inner child that was back then and going, they didn't know what they were talking about. So we know, you and I know, and that's enough. That like changes stuff for you. So I really like that. That is some positive things headed for you in your future coming up. So definitely something to look forward to. And I'm very happy to hear what it is if you want to share when it happens. Any blessings to you, Hina. Hey, Dollface Diva, welcome, welcome. And you want to know, will your parents eventually be accepting of Eric? Let's find out. Then Jazz, you will be next. Hey, Honey Dip, you'll be after that. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what we going on. All right, Eric. Okay. Will parents eventually be accepting of Eric? Anything else? All right. I'm glad this card came out first because this says eventually. Because Seven of Pentacles is about what's the last thing that grows on a fruit tree? The fruit. Just taking time for it to unfold. There's I was like, I'm glad that one came out first because I got these and I was like, oh my goodness. There's all these thoughts and these beliefs and this both of these are swords, of course, and they're all about this is about conflict and individuals trying to prove that their opinions and small t truths are more true than someone else's small t truths. And I feel like this is what's challenging your parents. I'm not sure what is triggering in them. Is it an old belief of some sort, that's kicking in? And, it's like, they're challenging these thoughts and beliefs that your parents have, and so there's this conflict that's going on within them, and maybe with you, they're like, we don't want them with you, blah 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 blah. But I really feel it's got something to do with their childhoods, because of the Six of Cups is about nostalgia in the past, and I really feel it's like some things that were taught to them, and it was like passed down, passed down, passed down. It's just these thoughts and these beliefs that they have, whatever's triggering them. But it's good because there comes the tower to burn them down, and just know that that's the reason why Eric is in their lives, that he came into your life because their higher selves wanted to have this tower moment where things come in and it's going to be in their face. They have to deal with it because it's there. And you're like, better get used to it. He's not leaving, and it's helping because that tower moment is removing, helping him remove these things that are making him feel restricted. It's just taking time. I mean, they have had a lifetime of these beliefs and know what kind of belief it is. Um, but I like this too. I just noticed because there's you got 5, 6, 7, 8. So, the 5 is the conflict. The 6 is bringing up old memories. The 7 is it's taking time, which eventually they let go of those things. So it is happening in order, even though it seems like things are happening out of order. Perfect timing. Just know, that before you all came down here, they all agreed, okay, and at this time in our life, you're going to play this character, Eric, and you're going to come into your life, and then this is going to bring it up to my parents, and this is what's going to be this transformative experience, and that might help with the patience around it, knowing that it's happening on purpose for purpose. You don't have to fix anything. You get to have your independent relationship with Eric, your independent relationship with your mom and with your dad, and you don't have to worry about any of their interactions with their relationship. None of your business. You just get to be love all three of them. So that is what they have for you, Dollface. I like it. Many blessings. All right, Jazz, you are up next, and you wanted a general reading for love. Almost broke into the old love boat theme. So there's some energy going on. I think it's because I was reading cards all day, creating videos. We got some really cool 1111 portal readings that are going to come out. Can't wait. All right. So here we go, Jazz. Just general reading around love. What would you like Jazz to know? I'm sorry if you're now thinking of the love boat theme in your head, because it's in mine now. You know, the love boat, exciting and new. Come aboard. They're expecting you. All right, let's see what you got going on here. So you do have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a wonderful card to get with relationships because it's all about it's going to take time for it to happen. I know I was being facetious, and I'm a little sassy tonight. It's their energy, because I've been spending all day with them, so they're like all woohoo. But the Knight of Pentacles is about a search for your worth in relation to the outside world, and that's great. But in regards to relationships too, it's just that it's going to take time. The outside world has its seasons. Things will unfold. So just be patient with it. But I feel like the pause period here is for you to look into your emotions. The Five of Cups. There are some emotions, some loss, some betrayals, some emotions that are related to the fear of losing love that are still bouncing around that you might have kind of stuffed down a little bit. Um, and don't believe any of that crap about uh, you're so emotional. Feel the emotions. You came here to feel them, so it's okay. You have my permission to throw things around. Don't hurt anyone because I don't want you to get arrested. But throw things around, have a tantrum, have a good cry, write their name on a paper and burn it in an ashtray or in a fireplace or something. Really process and feel the emotion. Let it flow through you. Allow yourself to integrate the emotion, and then it won't be taking up emotional energy. Because then you move into the Two of Cups behind you, which is about love, which is about you interacting with them. So they feel like during this pause period, it's time to do that, because then you end up with the Four of Wands, the celebration card, marriage, celebration, um, a very positive, solid energy. So, it's worth the wait, but it's kind of like they're saying you want all the emotional energy that you have to be able to go into a relationship, not maintaining old emotions that you haven't allowed yourself to feel. And so they do want you to feel the feels and let it out. Do what you need to do, you know. Write their name on a piece of paper and tie it to a rock and throw it into a lake. Whatever it needs you to process those emotions and feel them and flow them, because you're going to need that energy for good things in the relationship to come. So that's what they have for you there, Jazz. I tell you, they're getting weird tonight. I tell you. Hey, Sade, Elpedia, Leo, Starry Sky, J Star, Airmin. Thank you guys so much for being here. Feeling the love tonight. All right. Next, we'll go on to Honey Dip. And you want to know how will things be for you at work for the rest of the month. And then Winnie, you'll be next. And Coco, you'll be after that. Hey, Maxine, you'll be after that. All right. So let's take a look here, Honey Dip. What does your work life look like for the rest of this month? So for the next 11 days. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So you got the two of wands, which is I feel like you're looking into different steps and different directions that you want to take. I almost feel like you're kind of looking over maybe the world wide web for job opportunities, um, or like your company um, career site and stuff like that, where you're looking into possibilities or looking into where can I move? Is it worth staying here? What da, da, da. I feel like you have your career. You're going, what should I do? Where should I go? And then the two of wands, of course, also is you're taking your energy into your awareness after this message, especially because they're saying um, whatever you focus on is what is going to grow. Because you have an opportunity for either one of these. You can have celebration and joy and happiness or conflict. Whatever you focus on is what expands. And when I first saw your message, that's what I heard too, was like, you'll have some good days and you'll have some challenging days, depending on what you're focusing on and choosing that day. Because you know, you know how it is. One day someone can say something to you and you're in a good mood and you have a positive attitude and it just goes right off your back, right? You're like, yeah, no one's going to impact me today. And then the next day you wake up, you're not feeling so well, you have a headache, and you go into work and they just say hi, and you're like, what do you mean by that? Because your energy is expanding and moving out into your work. And so if you focus really a lot on what are your energies when you wake up, whatever your routine is, maybe put happy stuff like think joy, blah, 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 and put stuff around you on your mirror, right? With a dry eraser marker that can come off or whatever, and just put messages to impact your day. I try to, when I wake up in the morning, as soon as realize I'm awake, I try to smile up at the creator and just go, hey, welcome to a new day. I love you, and just choose to smile, and just forcing yourself to smile starts changing your energy. And actually does impact your physical body too, because it floods you with endorphins or dolphins or something. But it helps. And so I really feel like managing your energy first thing in the morning makes your choice throughout the day. And if you realize in the day, that you chose to be grumpy and wanted, you chose conflict, maybe not consciously, but you did by your emotional energy choices, you can reset at any time during the day too. Don't judge yourself. Just go, oh, okay, I've felt this for half a day and I'm done. I'm going to choose something else. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go, look at the geese or the crows, or, go get me a coffee or just walk around the building and, okay, I'm reset. I'm going to choose to have a good day and then use that energy for you. So I love that for you, honey dip. I feel like the power is coming. So there you go. I'm getting hyper. I don't know. It's just green tea I'm drinking, I promise. All right. Winnie, or much blessings to you, honey dip. Sorry. Right, Winnie? You want to know let's see, what would the Sagittarius tell you if he was honest with you? Ooh, okay, let's take a look here. Let's get into this. What would Spirit want you to know? We're going to make it a two-parter. I want to know if he could tell you and be honest with you, what would he say? And then we'll ask, how does he feel about you? Oh, okay. It's not going to be as dramatic as I thought it was. So if he could be honest with you, oh, so there are feelings there. Um, there is this, uh, the judgment card. is really a spiritual card. I mean, it's double endings and double new beginnings, but it's also, um, you know, you're more than your human self. You're being called by your higher self to a higher place too. It's almost like spirit goes, "Yeah, I know you're talking about love, but we just want to sneak in there and go, hey, but don't forget about us. We want to have a relationship too." And it's important. You've got the two cups, and then you have judgment, which is 20, which adds up to two. So there is this little nudge into getting to know the two of you yourself that are living this human experience. So they're doing the subliminal message amongst your message around your Sagittarius, because they're saying, this is an important thing for you to get to know and realize that you're so much more than this human that's going through this human experience. You're a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being too. And so is the Sagittarius behind that character. And so they're like, look higher, understand there's so much more going on than the human world that's going on there too. Because with all these twos, I have a you a YouTube free video series called You Times Two, which is all about getting to know the two of us that are living our human experience, like I just mentioned. And I feel like they're kind of nudging you to that if you're not already checking that out. Um, if you go to my main page on YouTube, it's right there at the top. It's one of the first things is the U times two playlist. So you can check that out, because in addition to all that, you also have the King of Pentacles, which the King of Pentacles is this journey of getting to know your worth from the inside and how the stuff on the outside is shaky and unstable. So this again subliminal message that's coming in here. They're like, yeah, that there's some feelings there, and um, that judgment card is definitely doesn't fit in with anything else around your Sagittarius. So that's them going, popping up in the middle. It's like you're having a conversation with someone and someone comes in and goes, "Hey, what's going on?" This is spirit coming in and saying that. But, there is this the Sagittarius, he is focusing on his own abundance and his outside world. So he's really focused on that right now. Because also, again, your higher self making itself known. Uh, but this is him too. He is really working on his divine masculine type of side of himself, where he's really focused on his outside world. I mean, this is him investing a lot of his energy into getting his wealth and getting his security in the outside world. But he's working on also his thoughts and beliefs, because there's some of his beliefs around relationships and life in general, um, are stealing his joy, stealing his attention, really, with all this too. So I kind of feel like if he could tell you, if he could be like just totally honest, he would say he likes you. But if he was totally honest, he would say, "But I don't have time right now because I'm focusing on me and my life and developing my business or my career and my home and my money and building it up. I just don't have time, um, or interest to build relationship," because he feels insecure. All of that, yeah. But there's emotions flying around underneath, but he has submerged them, I feel, for the sake of all that. But again, there's this, message here about you being in pursuit. You are the knight that's on a quest for higher love, which you'll find from up above too. So while you're kind of in this holding pattern, waiting for this Sagittarius maybe to wake up and smell the coffee, um, your higher self in the spirit realm are inviting you on a date with them, and they're like, and it's going to be the best date you ever had. They're like, come, we're going to give you the love that you are really wanting, that no one can give you. But definitely, um, they were like, we temporarily interrupt the program for this service message from spirit. But so hopefully that was clear with them bouncing back and forth between the two. To summarize, spirit wants you to connect with them while you're on this holding pattern. And that Sagittarius does have feelings, but they're too busy with themselves to really feel like they can do anything with that. So that's what they have for you right now, Winnie. So many blessings to you. Hang in there. Um, I'd go on that date with Spirit because they are a hoot. I tell you what. All right. So we'll continue going down here. Hey, Katie. Hey, Deb. Love and light to you. All right. So, Coco, let's take a look here. Your storage. My goodness. Don't they have security cameras there? My goodness. What is up? Might have to move it to a place that has security cameras, right? So you can catch them in the act. But let's take a look here. Is your stuff in storage safe? Hmm. Hmm. I know. I know. So you got the world card, which this would be ending to major cycles and beginning of the new things. Spirit showing up for you too. It's double endings and double new beginnings, really looking beyond the human and knowing you're so much more than the human experience, that you this is you. And it feels like your spirit is calling you to this higher relationship, higher and higher, because you got your your standard two of wands, which I know you're like, God dang it. Because this is all about whatever you focus on grows, right? And I feel like they're wanting you to end your cycle of what you're focusing on higher things, because that's going to change the energy away from all that stuff, all the drama that's happening in the human physical world. It just feels like it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I know it's hard not to focus on it when things are happening, but I think that's this beautiful time for it right now, is to, do that. So, um, you know, I feel like your things will be safe when we you move from focusing on it. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's the same message that keeps on coming up. And it's crazy because I do shuffle. Anything else? Yeah. Seven of Wands, knowing that you're in a higher place and that, people that are doing things, these are people that are like you said, breaking in and stealing things and saying things and whatever. When you realize that these people do things because they already feel lower than you, it's like you start to look at it differently. Instead of like they're trying to do something to you, it's like they feel like they're way down here and see you way up here, and they're trying to bring you down to where they're at, not they're up here and you're down here and they're trying to push you lower, because their mind, they feel very, very low about themselves. And I feel like with the wands, especially with the two of wands, it's the changing of this energy and things, yeah, put an end to where you keep them now. Yeah, that could be it too, right? Moving it to somewhere else, and um, somewhere more secure with cameras maybe. But I kind of feel like there's the energy wherever the stuff goes, the energy flows. So I feel like the energy is what the message from spirit is around this. The ending of the cycle of what I'm focusing on, to bring in new energy in, because that seven of wands is about knowing that you're on a higher place and you're protected. You don't have to defend, and that these things that are happening are because they feel they're low. And if you could ever find out who they are, it's almost like send them energy, send them positive, loving energy if you can. I know it's hard, when you're like, really, these people are doing stuff. It's like, yeah, because they're just little kids that are hurting that need love, and that's how I look at it with um, part of a meditation that's actually I'm talking about on U Times too. Um, goes through that I am unconditionally loved from above. I am made of unconditional love. And the next step is I unconditionally love the world. I know that's the tough one, right? But whenever I would intentionally bring up individuals that I have trouble loving in my human form, much less unconditionally loving, and they always spirit would allow them to shrink down to a little 2-year old who was crying in pain, because that breaks my heart. That is like anything in life that immediately ignites huge compassion, and I just want to pick them up and hold them. What happens even as adults, they shrink down to a little kid, and I pick them up and I hold them and I give them love. And if you can do that, that can transform things as well. There you go. Yeah. And Reiki energy is good, and I kind of every energy is love energy at the core. But really picking them up and seeing them as a hurting child, I think will ignite and change the energy for the situation too. And I feel that's, of course, not just for you, that's for all of us to know here too. So that's what they have for you, Coco. Hey, Valencia. KDP. Hey, Garnet. Welcome, our England friend. All right. So I'm going to continue going on down the list here. Many blessings to you. Maxine, you are up next. And then Rishi. So, Maxine, you want to just get some advice about your connection with B. Okay, I'm going to switch up cards here. I do want to go to the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. And after Rishi, will be Leo, and then V. Thank you guys for your patience as I make my way down the list. I do go in order, and spirit controls what they say, of course. I'm just the radio. They are the radio station. So, Maxine, let's take a look here. Your golden girl needs some chocolate cake now. Uh-oh. Steady, steady. My nose is itchy today. Okay. Does that mean I'm getting money? What does the itchy nose mean? No, that's the itchy palm, right? All right, Maxine. Let's get some advice with your connection with B. What would spirit like to advise you? Okay. Anything else? Anything else? So first you got the Queen of Cups here, which the Queen of Cups, emotions, right off the bat, but she also is double portion of emotions. So um really trust your intuition when it comes to them. Trust your gut instinct, not your mind, not your heart, the heart that's yearning, but the gut instinct, the one that's down here, in your chest, right, almost right above your belly button or on your belly button, where you're like, or whatever comes. Trust that, because this queen is like a high priestess. She's able to really connect to the deep emotions, uh, to the higher realms, and huge empathic ability to pick up emotions. So I would trust that, because you also have the Six of Cups here, which, it's usually could be a couple things, and I feel it's both, which is weird. One is about old emotions, old memories that are coming up. And the other is that it's about someone from either your past or their past is what's coming up here and kind of changing things, changing things up. And the reason I say that, so you see how the queen, how she has the Ace of Cups here. So she's offering this higher love. And then here is also the offering the Ace of Cups. They put down their cup and they're offering a higher love. And it feels like whatever is about to unfold in the your guys' outer world, because you have the Eight of Pentacles or the Eight of Discs here. This is that, you know, you guys have been doing work in the outside world and all this, and it's like an apprentice who is learning the task and learning everything, and they've been building and uh, putting in all the effort, but it's moving up. Something's moving up in the outside world, and I feel with that moving up, it has to do with someone from the past, either in your life or their life, that they're coming in, and things are changing. Um, and but they definitely are saying to trust your gut and trust your instinct and trust what you're feeling, because it's true. You know, your intuition is right on the money. Anything else you'd like to add to that? Yeah. So you have the Princess of Discs too. So new opportunities opening up in your outside world. I mean, both of these cards are about things coming and new things coming with the Full card too. So I feel like something in the outside world changes, and it has to do with past memories, but also people from the past are influencing what is going to be unfolding. And um, you know, especially with the Full card, it's an ending of a cycle and a beginning of something new. So I really feel like, you know, it's not something, might be uncomfortable with whatever's going to unfold, but you're going to be okay with it, is what I feel. Especially with that Full card, it's just, yep, I'm ready. Leave all stuff behind, and I'm headed off in a new direction because of this new opportunities, this new thing opening up in the outside world. So hopefully that makes sense to you. They won't give me much more than that, but I think they're doing that because they want you to develop and trust your intuition. With that Queen of Cups, they're like, trust it because it will. You know, um, you're right on the money. Hey, Kristen, welcome, welcome. All right, so that's what they have for you, Maxine. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. And thank you guys so much for all the likes and thumbs up you've already given this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate you considering doing so, because it does help out the channel, and it's the perfect price, which is free. So you just give a little tap on that little like, and boom, we're done. All right, Leo, you'll be next here after Rishi, and then V and Hero. All right, so let's take a look here, Risha. You want to know what's coming to you in the future? And I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Been reading cards all day long, recording videos, and I just feel like I'm in a different place. You'd think I'd be like exhausted and tired, but I get kind of hyper when I connect to the spirit world a lot. So you got a great card coming in here, Rishi. You got the Sun card, which is the, if not in the top 5 most bright, beneficial, successful, victorious cards. So I really like that for you because it means that you have a lot of brightness coming into your life. Now, this also represents your child self, and it makes sense that it's coming in here because nostalgia card I just talked about looking into old past memories, and so emotional memories. So with both these together, it does show that you're reflecting here, and there's some in the near future there is some emotional uh, triggering of old memories and old emotions, but it's happening so you can shed light on it and go back and transform them, because you also have the Prince of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. So there's a quest for higher, deeper love and emotional movement that's happening. So you definitely have this coming up. And Um, just know that whatever triggers, whether it's a trigger of like a crush or a trigger of anger or sadness or whatever emotions are triggering, that it does come from your past because both of these cards represent child self, old emotional self when you were growing up. And just realize whatever you are is triggering isn't being the person that's doing it, their action that's triggering it, they're not triggering it, you are being triggered. So there's a difference there, right? They're just being themselves, but there's an emotional trigger that beep, beep, beep goes off that goes back and has been vibrating and rippling for many, many, many years since you were like under 7 years old. And so, whatever comes up, it's a wonderful, wonderful mirror opportunity for you to go back and look at it and transform it. Because when you go back and look at a memory, knowing that every moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love, when you go back and look at a memory, you choose one or the other. And if it's a painful memory, well, that's not going to be a memory of unconditional love, right? It's a fear of something that got triggered when we were younger. And when the human goes into fear, we go into fight or flight mode. Blood rushes from our brain to our hands to fight and to our feet to run. And so we don't think. Our body doesn't want us to think because it wants us to react to get back feeling in control and feeling safe again. So our actions are survival instinct animalistic, like a cat that you're holding, a clawed cat that suddenly someone drops something and the cat doesn't go, "Excuse me, put me down, I'm about to be upset." No, it up, up over your head, claw marks, and runs and hides and um, or attacks, right? And that's what what humans do too at our core. When we're in fight or flight, we become that. So when you go back and look at a memory, you can see that oh, okay. So they were in fear, acting out of their minds. I was in fear, acting out of my minds. Everyone involved in this situation was in fear, acting out of their minds. So we start taking old memories less personal because they weren't. It's like when you swim out to save someone from drowning and they're freaking out and they're flying around, their hand hits you, and then they grab onto you and pull you under the water and you're like, wow, they're trying to beat me and trying to kill me, but they're panicking. We don't hold that against them. We take them back to shore and they're safe, and after they calm down, the person returns. They come back to their brain and you can see the real them return because the animal has been suppressed now that it feels safe. So I feel like with all these triggerings and the things that whatever is going to be coming forward for you is that opportunity to go back and transform those emotions, transform those emotional memories. And when you're able to do that, then triggers get lowered and lowered and lowered and removed to where things don't impact you like they did, and you look at people differently, but most importantly you look at yourself differently. So I feel whatever's coming forward here for you in the future, you're going to have some triggers, but they're happening for you to free you from those triggers where you won't have as many and not as extreme anymore, and that's freedom, you know. So that's what they have for you, Rishi. Many blessings to you. All right, Leo, 1111, you are next. Does Pisces miss you and love you? Well, let's take a look here. So, Pisces, what do they feel about Leo? What would you like him to know? Okay, what else? So, we have the Ace of Swords here, not the Ace of Swords, it's the swords, but she holds the Ace of Swords. And it's about patience. It's new ways of thinking, but I really feel this is new. It's new communication that's going to be coming for you because um, you have the Three of Cups, which is about celebration and joy. Also represents your higher self, and all your spiritual posse and team. But I don't feel like they're interjecting like the other one did earlier, because you have the Two of Cups here too. So with all three of these, I feel like you're going to get new communication, and it is a joyful feeling, and it is about, that they do care about you. Um, and so there is this personal interaction that unfolds. So I really feel like very soon you're going to get some information around the relationship, and it seems like it's going to be happy information. Um, so I feel like they have feelings, but let me see here about. I don't feel like this particular Pisces misses people. Just doesn't miss people. I feel like they have feelings, and but I almost feel like I don't know why I feel um, like they maybe Pisces is their sun, but they have like fire in the rest of their chart or something. I just feel like they're just more they feel more like a Leo. They feel more like a Sagittarius. They feel more like an Aries to me for some reason. They're just like they feel passion, but like not exclusively. Like they have a lot of passion that they feel, but I feel like they don't miss, like they live so much in the moment that they don't miss people, if that makes sense. Because the Five of Swords here too, which the Five of Swords is about conflict and expectations, and they are very that brings in that fire energy again for me, that they have their set ways and they will defend what they think, and screw the rest of you. This is what I think. I don't care. Be what you want. Psh, psh. They'll write people off or that. So I really feel like this strong, strong fire energy for them instead. So I do feel like they have passion, but not just for you, and they don't miss people. So it's not like you, you know, uh, in other words, I wouldn't take it personally if you can, because it's not. It's like everyone. It's just their way of living, for what I feel. So, just very nice Pisces, you know, energy. That's their sun sign, but that maybe they have a fire moon, or like a lot of fire in their chart, because that's what I'm feeling for them. But so that's what they have for you, Leo. I know. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right, V, you want to know what pattern should you be aware of? Ah, interesting question. And then Hero, you'll be next, and then Rabia, and then Leah. All right, let's take a look here. You're welcome, Maxine. Excuse me. So, what pattern should you be aware of, V? Dun dun dun. Okay. So, what about this? What about this is the pattern? So, your first card is the Ten of Cups. So, I mean, by itself, ooh, but we're asking about a pattern. And that's why it goes like, okay, well, what about this? What's the pattern around this? And then they were like, dun, 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 death and rebirth, the pattern of jumping in with all your might into a relationship, right? It's like, um, uh, you know, like you give all in, right? It's like I feel like, and they're reminding me of me, is why I'm saying this too. It's like you meet someone and I'm like, okay, I'm off the market. I want them, and I'm planning my whole future together with them, right? And so I rush in and or take off running in the relationship, and I'm like, it's so great to know you, and da da da. And I'm like, where did you go? And they're way back there doing a slow walk, and I'm sprinting, right? And it ends because they can't keep up. And so the relationship, it's like we go ludicrous speed in and they can't keep up, and so the relationship ends, and then we end up feeling heartbroken and we have this sadness that comes in, right? And I feel like this is the pattern to be aware of, and that it's okay to feel these things. And we do this for as long as we want to experience it until we're tired of experiencing it. And then that's when we change. And you have the Two of Cups in the background here. And the Two of Cups for you, with this being the pattern breaker, is finding the love from within. You know, when you are um, seeing that the outside world can't keep up with your passion and your heart and your huge, huge heart, right? That the only one that can is the higher realms, because they can sprint past us in their ability to love. And so when you move inward and upward and you find this love, then in each moment you have those Two of Cups, and you realize every moment you get to choose between unconditional love from above or the fear of losing conditional love. And neither is right, neither is wrong. They're just different. But you don't feel trapped like you have to feel this all the time. And so I feel like this pattern breaking here um, is what you're looking for. I mean, you're ready. It's like you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, right? You're just like, I'm tired of attracting the same type of person all the freaking time. And it's like, well, they're just a mirror for us, right? So, which is great. I do show that you are switching directions here. The Three of Wands is about you used to head off this direction, and now with new information, you're headed a different direction. So you are really looking into this pattern and making those changes. And you have the Four of Swords here. Four of Swords is peace of mind, it's balanced mind. And you're letting go of old expectations. Usually they'll have like three swords on a wall and someone sleeping on the Ace of Swords, which is about you connecting more to the higher truths that are rooted in unconditional love, which allows you to cut away old expectations, old ways of thinking, old belief patterns. And so you are doing that and you are making progress. You're finding that stability in that there, um, because you do have the World card at the end for your little pyramid of 3, 2, 1 here, because this is ending of major cycles and beginning of new journey and new opportunities. So I do love this for you because you'll finally find a love that can keep up with you, which is your own love for yourself. And then you fill up, you become a chalice where you fill up and overflow, and their love is extra, and then you don't worry about whether, it's not we're not so desperate for it like we are in the beginning when we are told that that's your life force. You have to find someone or you're going to die, and it's like, oh my God, what? And then you find out, oh no, I have the love inside me. And then everyone else is extra. I have a restaurant example that they bring up, recently, which is, you are your meal. The love within you is the meal and dessert, and everyone else is second dessert, third dessert, fourth dessert. And you're like, I could take it or leave it. I'm already full and I've already had dessert. I could eat another one, but whether I have it or not, it becomes less and less desperate. It becomes a treat and it becomes something that's nice and appreciated of. And so that is what they're looking at as far as the pattern to be aware of, in that and it's okay. Look, I lived. So, and I'm happy now. So you can be too, trust me. But that's a wonderful thing to be aware of, that each person, each relationship has been a mirror. Something that broke it for me was I used to journal, and after my third or fourth breakup, I went and read my journals and I noticed the pattern of the same thing I did every single time. And I was like, oh, wow. Because it would be like, I'm so happy being single and everything's great and da 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 da. And I don't need anyone. And then I'm like, oh my God, I met so and so. And da da da. And then the journal would stop for 3 or 4 months because I would be all in and pouring myself into them and abandon my entire life. And I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. So, look over that, and and see if, if you think about your past relationships and just what you learned through each one about yourself and others. It can be very enlightening and also help identify patterns as well. So that's what they have for you, V. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right, Hero, you are up. And you said, what does the universe want to tell you when it comes to love? All right. You're very welcome. So let's take a look here. And then Rabia, you'll be next, and then Leah, and then MF. I know I kind of jumped Hero ahead. He said, thank you for doing this, but then I saw his question, a couple of things down below. So I know. It's not truly 100% in order, but just forgive me. All right. So Hiro, you have the King of Swords coming in here. So you do have a lot on your mind. And, this is like a lot of uh, expectations, a lot of uh, structure around what love is supposed to be and who you're supposed to be in love and who they're supposed to be in love. A lot of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts. And so, when that pops up, they're showing that when you have so many things that make it very hard to find love when it has to be exactly this way, you're missing out on all these other opportunities. And so when you're asking what they want you to know when it comes to love is really question all those thoughts and beliefs about what is supposed to be and should be. And it'll expand more and allow for more opportunities to come your way because you do have the end of this has the Ace of Pentacles, which is new opportunities opening. So, but we're jumping ahead. We'll continue here. So that's the first thing. And then they give you the moon, which is about trust timing, trust cycles, trust that things will unfold in perfect timing. And if you're in a holding pattern where you just feel like you're not getting anywhere with anyone, just really use this holding period time to trust the cycles and use that to trust these expectations. Because if the clock turns forward and you're still having all this is missed. But if they're like pause and you're working on expanding that, then when it moves forward, these opportunities will be within your ability to enter them, right? So I like this that they're saying be patient with the process of people coming in because this is the time for you to prepare yourself so that you are ready for what is coming. Because you have the King of Swords, which is all about the mind. And then you have the Queen of Cups, which is all about the heart. So here you are, way over here, mind, and here's this person, way over here, heart. There's nowhere, you're a bird in the sky and they're a fish in the sea. Where will you meet? Well, if you get in touch with your emotions and they get in touch with their mind during this process, then you can meet. You'll have commonality. Otherwise, you won't, and you won't be able to meet. So that's what they're looking at there. And then, like they said, because when you do that, then you'll have these new opportunities that will open up for love in your outside world. But it really has to do with questioning all these mindsets you have around what a relationship should be, supposed to be, what it needs to be, what it has to be. It's all those expectations around it that are happening. But if you will do that, the faster you do that, and the more you do that, then once you reach a certain point, the movie starts again. And that's when someone enters the picture. So that is what they have for you, Hiro. All right. So many blessings to you. We'll keep on going down the list here. Very good. You're very welcome. All right. So, Rebia, you are up next. And again, thank you guys so much for all the thumbs up and the likes. I really appreciate it. It helps out my channel. So thank you guys for who did that. And if you haven't done that yet, really appreciate you considering doing so. It just takes a little tap. It's free, which is the perfect price, right? All right. So let's keep going here. Rabia, you want to know, you have no contact with Karam and you want to know, will he reconcile with you? Anything else? I didn't think so. Um, it's going to be a no on that, but it's good for you because this is ending of a cycle and you have new opportunities that are coming in. And I love something that I read somewhere sometime this week that said people don't leave us, they're removed out of our lives to make room for what's next for us and what's more in alignment for our journey coming up. And that's really what this is. Major arcana, which is the ending of a major cycle in your life, to make space for this brand new spanking opportunity comes your way. So, um, it is a positive thing for you, even though at the time I know it hurts and we have fears that we won't find love again. And but Spirit is saying, "Oh yes, you will." So you can trust that you are going to find love again. And I joke that I used to think after my first breakup, I was like, oh, I was devastated. I'm not going to find love again. And I did. And that ended. And I'm like, never going to find love again. And then that ended. And I'm like, I'm never going to find, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to find love again. Am I? So just trust, that everything that unfolds in your life is unfolding for you. And that when someone leaves your life, they're being moved out of your life for you so that it makes space for what's next for your adventure. So hang in there. Many blessings to you, Leah. All right, Leah, you want to know what's coming towards you in D. So let's take a look. And then MF, you'll be next. And then Sparks, hello, hello. And then Sade and Elpedia. All right. So let's keep going down here. So what's coming towards you in D? Let me just change here. Okay. Anything else? I get it. So you do have an ending and a new beginning that's coming into your life. And this is positive for you because we're pulling for you, not them. So this is your wheel of fortune turning, endings and new beginnings coming in, because you do have new beginnings coming in here. Ace of Swords, which is new communication, new ways of thinking. It's the ace. So you have a 10 ending, a 1 with a beginning that's coming in. And you also have the Magician, which is a number 1. So you definitely have this ending that's happening and this beginning that's coming in here. I love the Magician for you too, because not only do you have the power to connect to higher truths and cut away old ways of thinking, but that Magician is your higher self, and you have that Ace of Wands, which allows you to really focus your power. You have everything that you need within you to make your dreams come true, and you're able to focus that wand, and whatever you point it at is what grows in your life. So I love the energy of that because it really shows our power, that if I focus on what I'm grateful for and what I do want in my life, that expands. But if I focus on what's lacking in my life or what I don't want in my life, that also expands. So there's always that little warning label on the Ace of Wands. Be careful where you point this thing because it's going to expand whatever you're focusing on. And so, I do feel like there is a significant, the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana. So it's a significant change in your wheel that's turning in your life. But you also have a major arcana ace, number 1, which means you have a significant new beginning happen in your life too. And a lot of it has to do around your thoughts and beliefs and expectations of your life too. So it is positive. It may not be, let me see, is it something unexpected? Yeah, I feel like it's unexpected. Because you have the Two of Swords, which is about decision making, and there's, you're blinded to it here. And then the Seven of Swords is about something done behind the back, something that was secret that suddenly, ta da! And all as swords, it's all thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. So it's like something that you didn't see, you wouldn't have expected it, because that's what swords are, is our thoughts and beliefs and expectations. Something unexpected, just kind of, you're like, oh wow, but it's for your highest experience. So it's not going to be something that devastates your world. It eventually feels like it is something that really moves you into a very wonderful place of empowerment in your life. So um, and I'm not sure. I'm just gonna reshuffle here and just see if they can tell me about what subject around it. Yeah, I'm getting nosy. I am. What are you guys gonna do about it? I'm just kidding. Do you see how sassy they are today? I just feel like, and tomorrow I start my big readings, twice a day and three times a day on Saturday. Look out. Here it comes. So can you tell us, what is this surprise about? What area of life maybe? Any hint? Anything? Anything? Bueller? Anything? Nothing. So Leah, that's what they have for you. They're like, none of your business after that. That's it for right now. And it means you probably know what it's about. And they say it's none of my business. So that's what they have for you right now. Blessings to you, Leah. Hang in there. All right, MF. Let's take a look here. So, upcoming days in your life, angel message. All right. So let's take a look here. I do want to go to I want to go to this power of surrender cards first for your angel message. So let's take a look here. Your angel message for you first, MF. Let's see what they want you to know here. So you have surrender to your fear of change. I just carry dollar bills instead. I'm just kidding. I know it's not that kind of change. So it says the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Boom. I love it. So that's your angel message for you. And then your upcoming days, I feel like I want to go to these light seer tarot. Let's see what we have there. Kind of want to bring in all three of your questions just out of fairness, because I'm going to be able to go through. So we're going to bring in the universe message for you in your marriage life this month end, with all the problems solved in your marriage life, just everything they want you to know. We're just going to bring it all into one reading. Anything else? Wow. Okay. You got a lot going on here, mister. So, um, and I assume to mister, I don't know why, but however you identify. You got the emperor here. I guess that's why. Um, which is about you taking control of your life and realizing that you are the one that brings in whatever life you want in what you want to see. Like it says, all is well. Um, and the emperor is, it's like you're not at the whim of everything else that's going on in your life. It's like you get to be the emperor. You're not the um, stable hand that has to, shovel pig manure everywhere. You're the king, you're the emperor. You get to decide what you want in your life. You're not at the whim of everyone else's will and wish. Now, like if you're going to have a queen or a king in your life, then, you work out the joint rulership of the kingdom, but you still get to decide. You're not just at whatever they decide is what goes. It's like, no, this is a joint rulership of the kingdom. Thank you very much. Because you also have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, trust in your gut, trust in your intuition, really rules over her own emotions, but she's like the high priestess too, who can go into her temple, really dig into the emotions, understand what's going on inside, and huge empath, feeling other people's emotions. So trust that gut and trust the instincts that you have around everything that's going on in your marriage and all that as well. Queen of Swords, too. So there's like, three royals here, you know, and the Queen of Swords, she um, in addition to having air and thought and understanding, also has emotion and connection to the spirit world. She's balancing of heart and mind. So, you know, if there is any um, instincts of infidelity, this would tell me that yes, your gut instinct is telling you it is true. Um, but I really feel with the Page of Wands here, this is you holding your fire, holding the energy to guide what you want in life, what you want to do, what you want to focus on. And it's like this Ace of Wands is you taking your energy back. Like you might feel like you're at the whim of everyone else's choices and decisions, but I feel like with that Emperor and with that Ace of Wands, it's like you are taking it back and you get to decide what you want to do. And then, of course, with your fear of change and whatever's coming forward, your angel gave you that, right? So your fear of change in your job, health, relationship, or anything else, I have faith that all is well. Everything is unfolding for you, even though it may feel like happening to you in the moment. You'll realize later when you look back. I sure did after 5 relationships that I was like, oh, so all these were for me. I learned a lot through each, but I learned a lot about myself because every mirror always points back to us what we want to know about ourselves, and we'll keep getting shown the same thing over and over again until we see it. And that's being done for us. Because before we came down here, all our relationships, we said, hey, I want you to continue to show this to me until I get it. Don't give up. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I don't care if it takes 5 relationships. Keep showing me. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, initial here, sign here, and initial here to release us from all responsibility. And we do. So our relationships are destined, they're divine. There are teachers, which I can like honestly say, look back at all my relationships, no matter the unfaithfulness or whatever stories I had with them at the time. I look back at each one and I do bow to them as my teacher because they showed me what I wanted to see and it freed me eventually. So hang in there. Um, and that's what messages they have for you this evening, MF. So Many blessings to you. All right, Sparks, you are up next. See it scrolled. There it is. Oop, okay. You want to know, will your financial situation improve? Well, let's take a look here. I'm going to switch over to the Radiant Rider Waite. Then Sade, hello. You'll be next. Elpedia, you'll be after that. And then Starry Sky, J Star, Aramin. All right. So, Sparks, let's take a look here. Will your financial situation improve? Okay. I like it. So you have the Four of Cups here, and I feel like because you also have the Ten of Cups. Let's just jump to your what you're wanting to know. Yes, but how I know is also a question, which they obviously know because they gave Four of Cups here first, which is you're becoming bored. You don't have passion for your life. It feels like the things of the outside world have really started to bore you. It's like you feel like you're existing and not living, right? But there's this new emotion coming in that's being offered, which helps, bring in some coin and allows you to move into this more abundance in your life. Now, this also has the tree of life on here, which the way it's arranged here, it's the tree of life in the Kabbalah, which is about, our uh, how we move from our higher self of our spirit down through the human, end up down in the human world. But it also has this reflection on your family tree. And the reason why that comes up to be important, because you also have the moon card here, which talks about the hidden, what's going on in the subconscious, what's the unknown that's happening. And I kind of feel like there is this financial block that's there that's keeping you from this. And it does go back to earlier in your life um, in relation to how you feel about your worth and what you're able to um, like achieve and get to. And I love that this is coming for you because I read a wonderful book called Tapping into Wealth. And it's Margaret somebody. Do I have it here? I do have it here. What are the chances of that? Um, so this book here, Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch, wonderful, funny lady. Um, but it's great because it's about tapping. If you've ever had tapping where it's, you do this and, it allows you to get into your subconscious. It allows you to speak to your inner child, your subconscious, and release things. And kind of feel like that's what's going on here is that there's this uh, subconscious barrier that's not letting you get past a certain thing. Like if you do, it always crumbles and it brings you back down under here. And I feel like this is an important time of your life to really get into that. So if that book sounds like it resonates, go check it out because she talks about a wonderful things that help you move beyond your beliefs around your worth and wealth and bringing abundance into your life. And it's a pretty amazing book because you also have the King of Wands, which the King of Wands does represent your higher self, but also is about you taking your power into your hands and entrepreneurship, another thing. But it's that you're able to really focus your energy into your life and make these changes. And I feel like if you really understand what it is that is impacting you in your subconscious, that it'll allow you to move past that, and that's what opens the doors to this abundance and this continued abundance, not a temporary bump up in abundance to lose it again. It's just about that it's going to be a life changing, life switching type of thing. So that's what they have for you, Sparks. So I really feel like you have the power in your hands to make some changes. And if you have other ways to get into your subconscious to understand where your limiting beliefs around abundance are, whatever resonates, do that for you. Because there's another thing. What was it? Marriage of Spirit, I think it was. Was it that? I think it was that. Where you can, I mean, this is for everyone. So everyone listen up. I'm just kidding. You basically take a piece of paper and you draw like four, so there's four squares on it. You do like a big cross and there's four boxes. In the top box, like on here, when you're looking at it, I guess that would be in here. Let me get the camera. Over here in the top corner, you put what you desire. Like I desire to be, let's just make it general, wealthy, because, and you write all the reasons that come up within you of why you want to be wealthy. And then on the other box in that, you put why you fear being wealthy. And then you write what comes to you there. And then underneath those two boxes, the other one, you do the opposite. I desire not to be wealthy because, and you write all your reasons that come up there. And then the other one is I fear not being wealthy. Da 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 da. Now, usually two of those are the ones that we're conscious of, right? Like, I know why I want to be wealthy and why I fear not being wealthy, but why would I fear being wealthy and why would I desire to not be wealthy? These are the subconscious things that can bubble up from the deep recesses of the subconscious moon card. But those are some things that can help with that too. So, there you go. That's what they have for you right now. Sparks, it's all in your hands now. Many blessings. All right. Hope everyone else, you gleaned something from those two because they are life changing kind of little aha things that come your way. All right. Sade, thank you guys again for your patience as I make my way down the list. And Sade, you want to know, could you get a reading on E and how he feels about you and will he reach out? Well, let's take a look here. Nelpedia, you'll be next. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, I mean, you got the Hierophant, which is uh, card number 5, which is all about spiritual leadership and moving up in like beliefs and that. And you got the Judgment card too, which is all about a calling to a higher self here. And you got the High Priestess, which is all about, it's like, uh, are y are they gonna become a priest or what's going on with them there? But this is a calling higher and higher and higher, going into the hidden, going into the temple alone and going up into, the higher, called to a higher awareness, looking at things from up above. I mean, all 3 of those are like, okay. And then you have the 4 of Cups, which is all about being bored with the external emotions that come in and being offered the love from above. So I kind of feel like Sade that with all this, I kind of feel like they're telling you that this is you because they I don't feel like they're going to reach out. I feel like they're not it's like they're being blocked from your life because spirit is wanting you to go inward and upward right now, for you because they do want to have a intimate relationship with your heart, as well because it's for your highest good because these external love isn't going to fulfill you and they want you to be able to fill up like this chalice full of unconditional love and overflow, and then it is then that you would have this wonderful ability to enjoy the love of the outside because otherwise it's like they're showing me like one of these ritzy restaurants where um, they bring out the entree and they do this and there's a little cracker with a little leaf on it and they're like that's your dinner. You're like, what, can you get me a burger? Because you have the 5 of Pentacles. Because right now it kind of feels like you're abandoned out in the cold, um, have been left without getting what you need from the outside world. And again, the 5 of Pentacles journey is about realizing that it's not mankind that brings you what you need, but it's the source, it's the creator, it's the heavenly realms that bring you your sustenance, and that people are just the delivery company that bring it to you. And I kind of feel like there's this personal invitation to connect with the spirit world, that they are really drawing you to them, to this really deep love, um, that is, just something that's going to blow your mind, and your heart just overflows with it, and it transforms how you're feeling about life, about, where you're going to get your needs from, your sustenance of life, and that you have this faith, this trust that builds because of it. Because I mean, really, you've got all these three, which is all about connecting to the higher realm, calling to your higher self, movement up in spiritual connection. Um, and that Four of Cups too. I mean, all of them are just like this invitation. So I know it's like, well, what about E? And I'm like, I think that spirit blocked him, It's like, nope, it's not for you right now. This is what, and it's not like they are like, no, we're taking over your life. This is what you asked for at this time in your life. You're like, when I get up to this point, can you just, um, block everything and invite me up, because I want to be very obvious that I have this relationship, because I know what it'll do for the rest of my life and how much more abundant my life will feel. So I kind of feel like that's what they have for you, Sade. I know I was not expecting that at all, but that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right, Elpedia, you want to know if you're meant to be married in this life? Starry Sky, you'll be next. Hmm, let's find out. Elpedia. So, Elpedia, what would you like them to know about marriage, please? Anything else? My goodness, my goodness. Well, I'm glad this card came out first, because this is the hope card, right? And so this is very hopeful that, there is possibilities of love and marriage. Um, I do see throughout this, though, a lot like Sade, this is your higher self, this calling for your higher self, because you also have, which is about connection to your higher self. And you also have the Three of Cups, which, in addition to joy, is about your spiritual posse in the upper realms. So the other two cards in between all of those, that was like card one, three, and five. The cards in between are death in the tower. So I'm like, what is going on here? And I feel like, there's a lot of um, endings and new beginnings, endings and new beginnings, endings and new beginnings that have happened a lot in your relationships. And and they want to tell you that it all happened on purpose, that the experiences that you had, of course, were always happening for you, but each person that came through your life was showing you something about yourself, and something about love, and about what you did want and what you didn't want. And sometimes you were just accepting whatever was, because you're just like, hey, it's better than nothing. But that's not what you're looking for, that's not what you deserve. And that's why these things have been happening. And I feel like, there's this message that whenever you're in a holding pattern, where it seems like, relationships that you get with or get near, they get struck by lightning. It's like, what are you wanting? What do you want from me? And they do want you to go inward and upward. Um, but that star card is the hope, card. So that's the first one that came out, and they're like, there is possibility, but it's really has to do a lot with, and they got the Hanged Man too, seeing things from a higher perspective. This is the waiting period. This is the cocoon card. This is you hanging upside down, um, working through your beliefs around yourself and around others in the world and life, and really figuring things out. And they, like Sade just had, it's like this invitation to connect to the higher realms, and it's going to be so much better than anything that you could ever have thought of before. So, um, yeah, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, so they have the Knight of Cups. It's the pursuit of love, questing after love. There is movement and emotion. So that is saying that it does happen, but again, it's like uh, they want you to spend that time hanging upside down, seeing things from different perspectives, because it changes from what you think you deserve uh, to something different. And it's for you that it changes to something different. It allows you to expand what you're looking for and what you are, um, allowing yourself to have and allowing yourself to be. So I know it's not the messages I thought, which we always get the perfect messages for us at the time. So for this holding period, they're saying inward and upward, inward and upward. And then as you work on your heart and expand your self love, then that allows you to be able to receive love and give love more too, right? Because as I say, we can own that, as I say, as they say through me, of course, is we can only accept love from others to the extent that we love ourselves. We only can love others to the extent that we love ourselves. And so if we love ourselves that much, that's as much as going to drip in and out. But if we open up our heart and it's bigger and bigger, the amount of love that we receive in and out and receive from others is so much bigger. And that's what they feel you deserve. And that's, for everyone here today, of course. All right, Elpedia, that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. All right, Starry Sky. Let's take a look here. And then J Star, you'll be next. You said, will you see SH in real life next month? Okay. Let's take a look here. All right. So, will you see SH in real life next month? So, you got the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is a victory card. And the Six of Pentacles, of course, is kind of an equal giving and receiving type of energy, but it's also the codependency awareness card. So I kind of feel like this is a yes, that you will see them in real life next month. But to be careful not to slip into old patterns of codependency where you overgive and try to become someone's sustenance so that they will need you in their life, and where you overgive and won't allow them to give to you. So in between now and then, I would really just look into your um, cycles that you've had in your past relationships and understanding where this desire to overgive comes from. Think about back into your childhood. I'm not a licensed psychologist or anything, but if you go back and look into your life and see what you felt you had to do for attention when you were younger, was it extreme things that you had to do? And so all that came over into everything else in life where you have to overachieve and give 100 of something before you feel like you deserve one back, because you want to be able to go into any new relationship or friendship or whatever as equal adults and keep it that way instead of going in as adults and turning into parent child where you feel like you have to give, 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 give and not receive back. Because that just, what does that do? It wears you out. You're getting exhausted because you give and give and give. Then you continue to give until you're resentful, right? And what kind of relationship is that? It's an adventure. And then the other person, of course, because we don't allow them to give back to us, ends up giving to their job and become a workaholic or a gym rat and always working at the gym or spending time with their friends or a hobby or affairs. And so we learn through that whole process, uh, how we can learn to receive as we look into the core of why we overgive. So that's what they're wanting you to know right now, Star Sky. Yeah, just a little bit of homework between now and next month, but it'll make things so different for you. So a good time, good that it's a little break before you meet them, so that you can reflect and see any changes that you'd want to make in your approach to this meeting than you would have in the past. So that's what they have for you, Starry Sky. Yep, many blessings. All right, J Star, are you going to be able to extend your stay here again? Let's take a look here and see what they have to say. Don't worry, you don't get all those cards. Anything else? Okay. So you got the Two of Cups here, which um, means that you have to get married in order to extend your stay. I'm just kidding. Just a joke. I feel like this is a positive, though. There's these choices, emotional choices that are coming up. And you got the Devil card here, which means that it feels like your cage is being shaken for you to really understand the things that are binding you, the things that are keeping you feeling like you're caged, when really the door is not locked. It's not even closed all the way. And so when you have some of your beliefs about things that are being rattled and shaken in your life during this process, which allows the cage door to swing open, where you realize that you don't have to stay within this compressed, restrictive type of beliefs that are happening in there. Because you also have the strength card here, too, which does show that you're connecting to your inner strength. You're connecting a really good relationship with your higher self, but you're really understanding and getting a good, it's like you're getting your energy back. You're getting where you feel like you are in control of your life and you're no longer at the whim of all these fears that are kind of almost make you feel like you're on a puppet string sometimes. So I really feel like you're getting this power of choice that comes in here, and whatever's going to unfold there, I feel like it's coming to a head like a fork in the road, and I really feel like you're getting this information that's coming to you. Yeah, exactly. Okay. You got the wheel of fortune. So this wheel is turning, it's ending. There's something, this fork in the road is bringing you to a point where it's changing, but it's changing in a positive direction for you. It's like all the stuff comes up and you're like, wait a minute, I don't need to do this. I'm going to do this instead. And it turns, sorry, it looked like it paused there. So hopefully you guys can still see me there. Um, but the sun card is a positive victory card coming in here. So it's definitely this great um, change that's coming for you. Yeah, I feel like you come to this place where you just, especially with this emotional power of choice here, that normally you would have only thought you had one choice, but you have something that's coming up that offers you different opportunities. And it and it um, so I feel like where there's a block or something, it causes you to look into something you normally wouldn't have, because you felt that restriction, you felt trapped in it. But now with this thing that's happening, that's coming up, that you're able to make a transition, and you're able, it's like it opens up several different opportunities to where you're like, "Oh my gosh, what do I wanna do? Because I can do this or that or that or that or that." And so I feel like, um, if you're not able to extend your stay, or whatever maybe complication or block that comes up, whether permanent or temporary, that it ends up being for your best anyway, and it opens up just a whole bunch of new doors for you where you wouldn't have looked before. You just kept on doing the same thing that makes you feel chained, right? So I really like that for you, J Star. So I'm excited to see what unfolds. Just know it's for you, and it's brings you a lot of great opportunities with that Wheel of Fortune changing. It's definitely positive for you in that Sun card. I mean, I have no doubt that it's going to be something that just opens up wonderful doors for you. So that's what they have for you. Many blessings to you. And we are moving on here. So, Aramin, you want to have a general reading for the next month, please? Very good. Right, let me just see here. Here it is. Okay. Let me just take a quick drink here. All right. And then KDP, you'll be up next after Aramin. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. All right. So, a general reading for the next month. What would you like here? Please. I like this coming in here for you because you have the moon card, which is about, there's a cycle, there's things that are unfolding, but there's some hidden things. I feel like something surprising, a surprising opportunity is going to open up for you in the outside world. And I really like that. And I really feel like it comes out of the blue because you have the star card, which is a card of hope, and but it's Aquarian too, which is ruled by Uranus, and it is the surprise, sudden, unexpected type of energy too. And with the three of those, I mean, really, you've got star in the night sky, you got the moon in the night sky, and you have this little star, in the daytime. But it's all this kind of like star, star, star. And so it is definitely a positive thing that is coming up for you. Um, and I feel like it's really going to help you move beyond feeling like this. You've got the Eight of Swords, which is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, and your expectations around things. And you have like this, it's whatever's making you feel blinded and bound and trapped, that this new thing that comes, this new opportunity that just comes out of nowhere and is a great surprise. It just lets you cut yourself free. And you realize that it's your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets that keep you here, that it's no one doing it to you. But you're realizing that it was all in my head, as far as my limitations and what I was unable to do, because the sudden surprise is a wonderful benefit for you. So that is as much as they are giving right now, which is great. It's like, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it, a surprise opportunity that is coming your way. So that is what they have for you right now. Blessings to you, Aramin. All right, KDP. And then after that, Valencia will be next. And so, will Jordan and you get back together in the future? Let's take a look here. Anything else? Well, it appears that I would say that there's a great possibility because not only do you have this, but you have the temperance card, which is about patience. I know, and balance, patience and balance, moving towards this. But there's also, I mean, you got the Six of Wands, which is all about victory. Um, so it's a victorious card and it's about, being seen and can't think of the word right now, but it is about being seen and reinforcement of support, and that's what all these people are celebrating this individual. And but I feel like it's a celebration type of card. Their Emperor card is in here too, which I really feel four is a number of stability, and the Emperor is about taking your life and taking charge of your life and what you want with it, independent of anyone else. Because the emperor he's the ruler, and so he rules his kingdom. He doesn't, wait around for anyone, doesn't, it's like you go live your life and you bring your life into this stable, strong place that, it's going to take time for it to unfold. um and but it's like not waiting around for it to happen. Yeah, because it's going to take time for the energy to switch in the situation. The Five of Wands is the number of change. Wands is energy, drive, passion, and it moves from like an energy of conflict to one of helping each other out instead. But I feel like it takes time, and if it's worth it for you, it's like, hey, you know but I feel like it's like they're saying not to wait around. That's not what emperors do. They take charge of their life and they look at their kingdom and what they want to fold. Because you got the Page of Wands too, which is about new drive, new ambition, new passion, taking a hold of your power, where you're guiding it, what you want to do with it. So then they're like, yeah, it's a possibility. It's just going to take time for it to happen. But the big card is the patience. It's going to go back and forth and back and forth, and um it's like, that I mentioned it earlier with the Emperor card. You're not the stable hand who gets assigned the task to shovel horse or pig manure or whatever. You are the emperor. You get to choose what your life is and what unfolds and what you want. You don't have to take orders or wait on anyone else or take different whatever position becomes available. You get to grab onto that and allow it to be what you want it to be, right? So I like that power, KDP. All right. That is what they have for you this evening. Many blessings to you. Valencia, you want to know how I sees you? And I feel like I want to go to the True Heart Intuitive Tarot for that. Kristen D, you will be up next after Valencia. So how does I, not me, I, but, the letter I person see you? So I'm going to bring these three cards in together because it does tell a story of there's movement in emotion, but it's the ending of a cycle and a new beginning coming in. And I feel like there's some conflict that's going on with the Five of Swords. It's like thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And the Five of Swords is like people battling, like my expectations versus your expectations, my small t truths, your small t truths. It's like what I want is right. No, what I want is right. And or viewpoints or opinions about things. And I feel like there's conflict that's going on in there to where the movement is actually more like this, where there's conflict, and so there's an ending of a cycle, and they're kind of moving off here because I feel like um they feel like there's a lot of expectations that are different and it's not in alignment with what they want. um and that's all right, it happens. And um I mean, you've got the Four of Pentacles here, which is about you're getting this firmer and firmer foundation in who you are in relation to the outside world, and you're going through this transformation here throughout this process of understanding who you are and that you don't need a relationship, situations, or things to make you feel whole and complete, because all that stuff obviously is unstable in the outside world. Relationships, people change, people pass away, right? So eventually we are turned inward for our to find the love inward and upward, and that's what happens with the Four of Pentacles is you move inward and upward, and it allows you to look at emotions differently instead of feeling like when something happens, like this is the emotion you have to feel. There's only one. That has to be it. You really see that I get to choose what anything means. I get to um, make these choices for me, and that I don't have to obey the old ways of thinking of, when this happens, this is what it means. When this happens, this is how I have to feel. It's this opening up of choice. And you can be like, you know what? Okay. I get it. I'm going to see, what did I learn through this? What did I see in the mirror of that person that I wanted to see about myself? Because when I look at them and I have feelings about what they did or say or don't do, whatever, that's all happening inside of me, and I get to understand that about myself. And I feel like there's this empowerment that's coming in here through this, with them moving on and going that direction. It helps you understand yourself more, and it helps you really grasp your inner power and your inner worth, where you have that solid foundation, because that's what the fours are, is like a table with four huge legs. It brings a solid foundation in the outside world for you. So I really feel like that's what's going on with them, and that's kind of where it's headed. But it's going to open up things really, really, you know, well for you. Even if it doesn't work out with that particular person, it's really allowing you to see things and see yourself more and more and more clearly, which is great for you. So that's what they have for you tonight, Valencia. You hang in there. Many blessings to you. All right. And Kristen D. Absolutely my pleasure. And then you said, how can you strengthen and open your spiritual gifts or hear spirit better? I want to go to the Oracle of the Seven Energies, and let's see what they have to say for you there. All right, so let's take a look here. For Kristen D, what would they like you to know around your spiritual gifts? How can you hear spirit better? Strengthen and open up your spiritual gifts. What would you like her to know? Okay. So you got card number 17, which is the storyteller. And let's see what message comes in for that here. This is the fire energy, which is about personal power and will. So this would be probably the solar plexus chakra. And um, it says, do you know the story you tell others about who you are? You are a unique being with unique talents and a story unique to you and your experience. In fact, your destiny can be found in the way you weave together these threads of yourself in the world. If there's anything in your life you want to change, then it's time to adjust the story you tell about yourself. Ooh. Perhaps you are too self deprecating or apologetic about how you shine, minimizing your power so others will accept you. Perhaps the way you voice your expectations diminishes your ability to succeed, or you're too willing to tolerate a less than supportive environment. It's easy to be in denial when it comes to others and their behavior towards you. Understand, however, that you teach people how to treat you through how you talk about yourself. And once you recognize what story you're telling others about how to treat you, you can tell a different one. What if you could connect to your true power as a co creator of your reality? The story originates in your mind, how you think, your conditioning and past experiences, how you view the world, and what you expect to see in it. The truth is, you have everything you need to tell a new tale and weave more blessings into the world as your unique contribution. In fact, practice speaking of your amazing success, your overflowing abundance, and all the love that surrounds you. Soon, the outer world will tell the same story back to you. And I love that because that is about, you know, what story are you telling yourself on the inside? Um, Strengthening and open your spiritual gifts. That I feel is like the message for that. That um, look at the story you're telling yourself about the worth that you have, and um, you know all the expectations about what a gift should be and shouldn't be, and all that. It's like you are unique, and you don't have to do it in any particular way. It doesn't have to look any particular way. It's like you get to choose for you. It's like tarot. I read some books on it at one point, but it's like you connect and you listen. Now, in spirit better, that um, they do want me to let you know that, because they are whispers of love from above. If it's noisy in our world, it's hard to hear whispers over fear noise, right? And so whatever we can do to lower our fear noise, which sometimes it's getting rid of triggers, it's understanding our fears, it's clearing those things away so that they're not loud. It's turning down the fear volume, turning down the noise, and then turning up our vibration, focusing as much as we can on unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. That's the frequency at which spirit speaks. And so the more you use it, it's a muscle, the stronger it gets as well. So, like today, I spent like 7 hours recording, you know, tarot readings. And then I go on, I'm going live every single night. I feel even after doing this for over 2, 3 decades, I feel my energy expanding because I am like on a super workout doing this so much. And the clarity is getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And so you can always, the more you focus on it, the more it expands, the stronger it gets. But lowering the fear noise and turning up the love, unconditional love frequency allows you to get on their frequency and on their, station, so you can hear it even more clearly. So hopefully that helped, Kristen. Um, but I love your search for enhancing your spiritual gifts, and I'm doing that. I was actually thinking of maybe having one night a week, instead of doing readings, or like before doing readings or after doing reading, like do an hour of readings and then do an hour of helping develop spiritual gifts and how we can all work together on doing something like that. So maybe we will consider doing that. All right. All right, everybody. I am at a little over 2 hours, and I know I'm like, I look down the list and I'm like, hey, everybody, there's so many more to people that would love to have readings. But the good news is, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and again tomorrow night at 7. Saturday morning at 11, back here at 8 p.m. I will go on Instagram at 5 p.m. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm also doing lives, usually for about an hour or so over there. And then Sunday morning, 10 a.m., and Sunday night, 7 p.m. So I will be on several times over the next 3 days. And if you need something tonight, I do have a ton of recorded like weekly energy update readings, monthly pick a card readings. There's a lot, and believe me, if you go and trust your instinct, and you can go to my main page, and there's all the playlists are there, but in the description box of this video I have a few listed there too. Just follow your heart and you'll find a message that is for you as well. So if you need something right away and I wasn't able to get to you tonight, please know that there are other options there. And also, I do personal readings if you, you know, are in need and can't make it during the time frames. And I do offer recorded personal readings at a fairly reasonable price. It's actually even a sliding price scale for those, so you can choose between three different prices for each one. And I do live ones too. Those are a little more expensive because I have to book my time away. Um, but and I didn't announce this in the beginning. I did put out an announcement last Friday. And let me put these into the chat. Here is a link to the video announcement about the weekly energy. I'm doing a weekly drawing for a free 30-minute personal recorded reading. And it's based on my weekly energy updates, which this is the playlist for that. So if you go check out that video, then you have a chance to win a 30-minute personal recorded reading too, which you always have a week from Saturday to Saturday on those to comment. And then I close it off. Like Saturday, I'll close off last week's, and then I'll pull a name and announce it on Sunday who's the first winner. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to do so. And again, thank you guys all for all the thumbs up, and it really helps out my channel. If you haven't done so yet before leaving, I really appreciate you doing that. It does help me, and it's absolutely free, which is always the great price, right? So again, thank you guys for all your patience. Sorry I didn't get to all of you. Just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you guys too. So until we meet again, you guys hang in there and you take care. You have a good night or good day, wherever you might be in the world. Good night.